Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Welcome to the Southern California Prep Insider Basketball Podcast. Tommy and Devin here to bring you more of the same. We got the top 10s, some good players from last week, and some game picks. Devin, how you feeling this week?
Feeling good. Not 100% quite yet, but we're almost there, making our way back slowly but surely.
Are you probable or are you off the injury list?
I am off the injury list.
There we go. I'd like to see that.
100%.
We'll start with the top 10s and Devin, who do you have on there?
Top 10, not much changed, but let's going to go with Bishop Montgomery at number 1, obviously, 24-0. Number 2, still Etiwanda. 3, we're going to go with Rancho Christian. Huge win over Jay Sarah at Nike Extravaganza on Friday. 4, Sierra Canyon. 5, Mater Dei. 6, Crespi. And last night was a close one for Crespi. They were down heading into the fourth quarter, but Brandon Williams went off, and thankfully for me, we didn't have to update this top 10. 7, Santa Margarita. 8, St. John Bosco. Fell a couple spots after losing to Santa Margarita on the road last week. 9, we're going to go with Harvard Westlake, another Mission League team. And 10, again, Chino Hills. They lost to Mater Dei at Nike Extravaganza, but they did have some good moments and looked pretty good in the process. So that's this week's Southern Section top 10. And
going back to that Rancho Christian team, that was a game that we picked. I picked that wrong. Sorry. Rancho Christian, very impressive in that game. Again, like I was saying last week, they haven't had that much of a test on the schedule, but this was a good test for them, and they pulled it off. All right, going to the shout-outs now. I will start. I will go all the way to Barstow for Evander Burns. Evander Burns, 41 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists in their win over Granite Hills. Next, we've got Rialto's Michael Ernest. He had 28 points and 8 rebounds in their win this week. Next, I've got the Mobley brothers, who combined for 40 points and 22 rebounds in a big win for Rancho Christian over Jay Sarah, as you were just talking about. Next, I've got Jalen Stevens from Lancaster with 20 points. But this is the reason why I want to call this out is because it's such a bizarre stat line. He only made 1 field goal. 20 points, 1 field goal, 18 free throws.
There you go.
18 to 22.
That dude plays bully ball. That's for sure.
There we go. Jalen Stevens with 20 points, mostly on rebounds. You just mentioned him. I cheated. I took one from Monday for my shout-outs. Brandon Williams from Crespi, future Arizona Wildcat with 31 points against Chaminade.
I'm impressed at how high in the desert you went.
I went everywhere.
that was very impressive. You're wide-ranging. I respect you.
All right, Devin, what about you? Who are your
my shout-outs? First, Paul Head at Ocean View, very close to my hometown in Huntington Beach. He scored 40 points in a Golden West League win over rival Westminster. He had 9 3-pointers in the process, went 13 of 19 from the field, 9 of 13 from 3, added 9 rebounds and 6 assists, and Ocean View won yet another Golden West League championship. So, Paul, great job. Second, Daniel Cabrera and Nick Colosi from La Mirada. They scored a huge road win over Mayfair in the Suburban League, and Cabrera had 34, Colosi had 31. My guy Randy Aroños over there, first-year head coach, is doing a great job. And Cabrera broke the 1,000-point threshold with those 34 points last week, so very, very impressive from him. Next is Zelly Hudson from Westchester. He had the game-winning tip-in against Capistrano Valley Saturday morning at Nike Extravaganza. Zelly Hudson's a guy who just does a little bit of everything, kind of a glue guy, goes under the radar a little bit, but his activity was really impressive in that game. Next is KJ Martin from Sierra Canyon, 29 points and 20 rebounds in a huge win over Long Beach Poly at Nike Extravaganza. Big-time athlete. He's ridiculous to watch. And finally, Dawson Baker and Nick Lipovich from Capistrano Valley. Baker had 19 points. Lipovich had 18. They combined for 37. They lost that really close game to Westchester, obviously with Zelly Hudson's tip-in. And if they would have won that game, I mean, they're a really good team, and Coach Mulligan does a great job down there. They were just, unlucky in that game, but Baker and Lipovich were fantastic.
Yeah, if only Coach Mulligan and the boys could have gotten a redo.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the pun. Sorry. I couldn't resist that one. Going on to our game picks. We've got a handful of them. We're going to start with Cypress traveling to Pacifica.
I'm going to go with Cypress in this one. They're undefeated in Empire League play. One of the top 10 team in Orange County. I like their guard play, and then their forward, Eric Papke, is really, really versatile. So I'm going to go with Cypress.
I will agree with you going with Cypress. Next, Rancho Cucamonga at Chino Hills.
I'm going to go Chino Hills. They're at home. I know Rancho Cucamonga is really good with Kelvin Wright and Shandon. It's such a tough game to pick, but I'm going to go Chino Hills.
I'm going to go upset. I'm going to go Rancho Cucamonga. I think this happens to them in football, too. People kind of overlook them because they're out there in the East, but they're a good team. Next, we got Damien at your number 2 team, Etiwanda. Can they pull off the upset?
I don't think so. I'm going to go with Etiwanda strictly because of how good they are defensively. And, they haven't lost in a while, so we're going to stick with Etiwanda. But, I mean, if Damien, plays a good offensive game and, they're high octane, if Austin Cook's hitting his threes, it could be a really close game. And you never know in high school basketball if it comes down to the wire. It all depends on who executes down the stretch the most. And both teams are very well coached. But I'm going to go with Etiwanda.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you here, Etiwanda. I really like the teams that don't start off being highly ranked and earn their way in there because they're for real. There's no preseason hype. They got to number 2 because of what they've done, not because of what they went into the season with. If that makes any sense. So I'm going to go with Etiwanda as well. Next, we have Hart at Saugus.
I'm going to go with Hart over Saugus in this one. I like Hart on the road here.
Take Saugus as the home team. Finally, we have Redlands, East Valley, traveling to Cajon.
I'm going to go with Cajon. I really think Cajon's one of the most underrated teams in all of Southern California. Jeremiah Martin, obviously a big-time football guy with, scholarship offers from any school you can imagine. He's really, really talented on the basketball court as well. And they have Jared Hyder, Deshaun Washington, and they're just a really solid all-around team. So I'm going to go with Cajon. Even though I do like Mykael Williams from Redlands East Valley, I think he's an underrated senior.
I like Mykael Williams, and I'm going to go with him. I'm going to go with Redlands East Valley on the road. Those are our game picks. That is what we have going on this week. Devin, anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
Nope, not sure where I'll be this week, but we'll figure it out at some point.
Oh, yeah, so you got the benefit of the extravaganza last week, so you got to see a whole bunch of teams. So this week, a little more road work for you, so apologize to your car in advance. We will see you guys all next week with more basketball.